So as you heard in my bio, I have been fundraising or been nonprofit management for over 20 years. Whether my job title was executive director or major gifts officer or chief operating officer, one job duty was always in my job responsibilities, and that was to raise money. Now, usually when people hear that, they get a little uncomfortable. They check to make sure they have their wallet close by and hold on to it tight. But don't worry, I was told I couldn't stand up here for 15 minutes and solicit you. So relax. What I want to talk to you about is about collaboration. So when I began fundraising in the 1980s, the idea of collaboration just did not exist. Nonprofits did not want to play with other nonprofits in a sandbox. We did not like that at all. The reason why nonprofits did not want to collaborate with others is because they came from a place of scarcity. So what do I mean by scarcity? We all felt that there was never enough donors to support our mission, and if we were to partner with another organization, one, they were going to secretly get in our database and find out who all our donors were, and steal our donor list and go and solicit them. Or even worse, that our donors would find out about another amazing organization doing work that's better than us. And they would take the money that they were giving to us and pass it on to that other organization. So we didn't want to do that. So we decided that we were gonna, as nonprofits, we were gonna do everything on our own. We have big egos. Nonprofit professionals have really big egos. We think we can solve all our problems. Well, things have changed, and now we're being forced to play in the sandbox together. And that is because granting foundations are now requiring us to collaborate with other organizations. They literally have it on their grant applications. Who do you collaborate with? And it's not very good when you put 0. They don't like that. So that has forced us to start figuring out how do we work with other organizations. So as you heard, I'm extremely lucky that I get to work for the Caring Foundation of Texas. The reason why I feel like I'm so lucky is because we were created to be collaborators. We serve the whole state of Texas, and we have 4 staff members. So you do the math, that we cannot solve a problem with 4 staff members. We need collaborators in order for us to do our mission. But the other reason why we need collaborators is because of our organization structure. We are not allowed to hire medical professionals. So how do you shatter the barriers that prevent families from getting preventative health care services if you have no medical professionals? Makes no sense, right? So we need collaborators who have medical professionals so that we can move their medical professionals into the communities where the uninsured and underinsured reside in order to break those barriers. So when we launched our signature program called the Caravan Program in 1999, we were focused on what is now 4.5 million children who have no insurance. But we are also focused on the millions of children who are underinsured. So what do I mean by underinsured? When I came aboard, they said underinsured. I'm like, what does that mean? Those are individuals who have insurance, but their deductibles are so high that they can't afford preventative health care services. And though they have a card, they can't go get immunizations because they can't afford the $169 it costs to get an immunization. So we thought we need to partner with organizations such as American Heart Association, we partner with March of Dimes, we partner with Texas Kidney Foundation, and we partner with for-profits and mobilize their medical professionals into the communities where our target audience lives, plays, and works to provide the preventive health care services they need. We also partner with school organizations. So as you can imagine, schools know what children need immunizations. So we work with them to help identify families who need immunizations and offer immunizations to them. We additionally partner with community centers and we partner with houses of worship because we want to serve as many people as we can. And so houses of worship open their doors to us and allow us to create clinics inside their doors so that we can treat as many as 300 patients in 2 hours. We couldn't do that on a single day. We need those kind of collaborators. So that is one type of group that we collaborate with. Our second collaborator is our lead sponsor, and that is Blue Cross Blue Shield of Texas. They provide a lot of resources so that we can do our mission in an efficient way. The first way that they support us is that they cover 100% of our administrative cost. As a COO, this is a relief to me. I don't have to worry about covering payroll costs, finding office space. I've moved enough nonprofits over my history. I'm done with that. They are able to provide us this kind of support so that we can do our mission. They also supply us with information. As you can imagine, Blue Cross Blue Shield of Texas has a lot of data on healthcare. They know where they're spending their money and what claims they see on a daily basis, and what areas are being impacted by certain diseases. And they share that information with us so that we can make strategic decisions on how we are going to serve the state. Because as you know, the state of Texas is big, and we cannot go everywhere and provide every preventative healthcare service. So we really have to be thoughtful in the services that we're going to provide. So let me give you an example of how we use the information that they give us to make strategic decisions. So we had this conversation with them, and they shared with us some rich data that really made a big impact on what we're doing now. So they told us that they were seeing a large number of claims in renal failure in the South Texas area and along the border. So my team started to wonder, is there a way that we could educate people at an earlier stage of their renal functions in order to prevent them from going down to dialysis or kidney failure? So we kind of pondered on what would that look like. And we ended up partnering with the Texas Kidney Foundation. And we mobilized their nurses to go into South Texas and provide renal screenings. Because of this information, we got to meet a guy named Mike. Mike was just like anybody else. He was average, didn't look unhealthy, didn't look extremely healthy and fit. And he came in to get his renal screening. And the first thing that the Texas Kidney Foundation did is they took his blood pressure, and it was high, but it wasn't extraordinary. And they said, okay, great, fine. And then they took his blood, they did a glucose screening. And his glucose screening was 500. So if you don't know about glucose screening, 500 is a little bit high, just a little bit. So they began talking to him about what did that mean. What does it mean to have high glucose screening, and how does that affect your body? The whole time Mike was like, but I feel great. First of all, I'm like, you feel great, why are you here getting screening? I don't know about that. But he just swore up and down that there was no reason this could be right, that he was in good shape. So the nurses sat there for over an hour to explain to him what kind of symptoms, going over his symptoms and stuff like that, and how this is going to affect his life if he didn't do something about it. They ended up finding out that he was in stage 4 of chronic kidney disease. Now, if you don't know anything about chronic kidney disease, there's 5 stages. Stage 5 is usually when you go into dialysis, and he was at 4. So he was on the borderline of having to go to dialysis or seek a transplant. So we followed up with him. He met with his doctor after a lot of persuading, and I do mean a lot. We got into a doctor. He started to take care of himself, start working out, and now he is managing his chronic kidney disease through food choices and a healthier lifestyle. It's only because Blue Cross Blue Shield of Texas provided us this kind of data that we were able to impact Mike and keep him healthy. The other way Blue Cross Blue Shield of Texas collaborates with us is that they help us engage their employees in what we're doing. So like most large organizations, Blue Cross Blue Shield of Texas has an employee giving campaign. And that is where their employees can choose their favorite organizations to support through a payroll deduction. We have over 300 of their employees that are regularly giving to us on a bi-weekly basis and supporting our mission. But the other way that they're supporting us is by giving their time. As you can imagine, we see a lot of kids, and so anybody who volunteers with us has to go through a background check. But because Blue Cross Blue Shield of Texas takes all their employees through an extensive background check when they're hired, if I engage their employees in my volunteer opportunities, I can save thousands of dollars. I don't have to do that extra background check. I end up using that money to buy really cool Band-Aids to make the kids happy. You know, it's the simple things, little cool Band-Aids with all the little characters. The last collaborator I want to tell you about is my donors. We are a public 501c3 operating organization. What does that mean? That means, like all public nonprofits, I have to have individuals, corporations, and foundations supporting my mission in order for me to stay a nonprofit and help me be efficient. So if it wasn't for our public donors, I would not be able to provide the over 23,000 immunizations I provide every year, or see the 20,000 children every year in their schools and provide CLICs, I provide oral health care screenings, and we offer fluoride treatments, or I would not be able to see 5,000 mice and provide kidney screenings. I have to have my public donors in order to do my mission. Okay, so you know a little bit about Blue Cross Blue Shield of Texas. What does this mean for you? Well, you're here because you are some kind of leader. And so I want to challenge you to think about how can you go deeper with the organizations that you care about. As I mentioned, nonprofits need collaborators these days. They need their cheerleaders next to them. So what can you do to help them reach their mission? How can you have that stronger relationship with them and be right by their side? Do you have information that you can share with them? Do you know transportation numbers and stuff like that of how people have issues getting from point A to point B? Or do you know about financial struggles people have that you can share with the nonprofit and so that they're able to tackle a situation? Or do you have services that you can provide? We are very lucky. Blue Cross Blue Shield has an incredible marketing team, and I do mean incredible. And they provide all of our collateral for us so that I don't have to worry about trying to be a graphics person, because that is not something that's on my resume. I'm a horrible graphics person. But I am lucky enough that I can reach out to them and they help me on that. Or do you have office space or equipment that you can provide to them? This is simple ways that you can go deeper. Nonprofits can't do it alone, although we would like to think we can. We need people to collaborate with in order for us to solve the problem. Think of what your legacy can be, and pick that mission that you are so passionate about, and get to know them. Now I'll say, If you're attending their galas and you're attending their walks, keep doing that. My colleagues would be really upset if you walked away with the idea that, oh, I don't need to give to them, I can give some resources, I don't need to give financial. They still need your financial money, or your financial dollars, in order to do their mission. But look for that way that you can share some extra part, some extra knowledge with them, and help them reach their goals. Thanks so much.